Hey, what's up you guys? Century Productions here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Toxin figure. So here we got Toxin. He came in the Green Goblin Build-A-Figure series, came with the head of Green Goblin. He's in the spawn of Symbiotes 2-pack. Well, it's not a 2-pack, but he's the variant to the Carnage that came out. This guy came out within the last month and a half or so. So I'm glad that Hasbro's finally distributing their variants, and we're getting the figures that they showed us at the con, and I'm just happy to see that. I really do like this figure. First things first, I really like the base mold that they used for this. This is the same mold as, I think, Hyperion, the new Sabretooth, and was it Luke Cage from the Thunderbolts pack. I really did. This is a 100% brand new sculpt. We've only seen it in the last year or so, and I mean, it's a pretty simple figure. I mean, you can see that there is, of course, some paint application in here with this glossy bright red, and then it's a really nice contrast actually to this darker red that you see on the rest of the figure. But other than that, there's not too much going on there. They do have some really nice details, like on the forearm here. You can see got some spikes sticking out, especially on that back of the elbow right there. So that's a really cool detail they added. Comes with this little accessory right here too. It's like his little symbiote thing coming out of his back. You can see there's a peg hole in the back there where you can stick that in. There's actually two peg holes. I've never really seen that before. I was trying to figure out what that was when I first got the figure, but the minute I put this in there, looks like they made a little extra hole for the top of the symbiote thing right there. Something along the lines. Anyways, still really cool. I really like the head sculpt. It's really cool. I do have one problem with the head sculpt though. There's not that good of range of motion on it, so you can't really manipulate it and get it in certain positions too well. Like I noticed the further you push it back, it just kind of just pops the head off. And I think that's because of how the jaw is constructed. It just hangs so low that regardless of how far you push back, it's just going to pop the head off. But yeah, I had that problem with Carnage too, but other than that, really nice figure. So let's talk about this paint job real quick. Like I was talking about, we got this glossy red that's on the front of the figure. It kind of stops at the waist right there, and it's kind of stops right up here too. This is something I don't like too much when it comes to the figures where they just forget to paint parts like the top right there. So it's going to be hard to get him in some poses with his arms down, because that's just going to stick out like a sore thumb, you know. But you can see on the back some of the paint application. That glossy red is still going down right here. Nothing below the waist, nothing on the arms as opposed to the shoulders for that paint. The rest is just covered in this, it looks like this dark red. I don't really see any other colors in there. It looks like it's just the red. So that's what's going on with the paint job. As far as the sculpting of it, like I said, it's a really simple figure, but you can see right here they did do a couple things with it. You can see there's some spikes coming out of his elbows right there. Of course, these are some brand new hands for us, and they're huge too, and I really like the gestures on the hands too. You can get this guy in some crazy cool poses. Real quick, for all you guys that wanted a size comparison, here he is stacked up next to the Amazing Spider-Man 2 figure, and of course the Carnage that he's the variant of, or running change, or whatever you would like to call him. And you can see how big he stacks up against the Spider-Man. Definitely a good matchup. He is a lot taller than the Carnage too. So altogether, he's a really nice figure. And he's definitely a lot bulkier than what we're used to. And it's always good to improve your Spider-Man collection and get some of the lesser known characters out there. So that's how he stacks up against these two guys. And he was a lot easier to get than I thought he was going to be too. I just kind of walked in the store and found him one day along with Boomerang, which was awesome, so I was real happy for that. And you can see some of the spikes are continued on the other side of the arm right here, and you get the other hand right here. As far as articulation goes, as opposed to that head where I was just talking about it, this does go up and down a little bit, left and right. Another piece of articulation at the top of the shoulder, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, piece of articulation at the wrist which goes up and down 360 degrees, piece of diaphragm articulation. You can hear that ratchet too. You may want to be careful too when you're moving this, because I remember the problem I had with the new Marvel Now cap is that when you move the diaphragm, sometimes you scratch off paint. So just keep that in mind when you are moving this piece of articulation. Just be gentle with it. You don't want to chip off any of this beautiful paint right here. Go into the waist, piece of articulation right there. Go into the legs, two pieces of articulation right there. Piece of articulation right there, out, in, front, back. We know how the articulation works. No need to spend too much time on it. Double jointed knees, piece of articulation halfway through the bottom of the leg there. We got a pivot right here, and this goes front and back. So overall, I would say if you can get your hands on him, if you're a big enough Spider-Man fan, And I mean, you just like a good figure, good articulation, and good paint, I would say this is your guy right here. Costs $20, shouldn't be too difficult to find, and just happy hunting. And I hope you guys are all doing well. And this is Century Productions, and I'll catch you later. Peace.
The video is over. Subscribe, damn it.